Hi, my name is Matthew, and I'm from Advisor Tech Partners. I've had the opportunity to work with over 50 different advisory firms that both utilize Redtail and Wealthbox CRM systems. Here at Advisor Tech Partners, we strongly believe that we should be able to help firms efficiently run their financial advisory practice by implementing the industry's best practice management processes, workflows, and automations. We believe that this information should be available to everyone and really not hidden behind some sort of paywall. So please enjoy all the free content we're going to be posting to our channel and hope you enjoy. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Wealthbox contact card function and really how you can utilize it to your advantage when tracking prospects in your pipeline and really tracking all of the contacts in your CRM system. We've come across a lot of advisors who utilize their contact cards in not the best fashion. Most advisors will tag a contact as either a prospect and a client, and if whether or not they're an active or a non-active client, and they call it from there. This information that you have in your CRM system is very valuable, and we would love to help you really customize and set up your CRM system in Wealthbox for your firm's success. During our video today, we're going to be looking at an example contact card and really showing you how you can utilize and customize how your contacts show up in your CRM system, as well as planning for running those reports inside of your CRM. So in our example today, we're going to be adding a prospect client who we just met with during an introductory meeting, and we're going to call him Joe Schmo. So on our top right, if you do need to add a new contact, you can go ahead up here, click the little icon, and you'll have an option here to add a new contact. But in our example, we have already added the contact's first name, their last name, as well as the other relevant information. And towards the bottom of the contact card, we're actually going to be focusing on two different areas that we identify as very key pieces of information to be able to run those reports on your firm's prospects. The first one is contact type. So if you click the drop down below under contact type, you'll see that there are a couple of different preloads that Wealthbox already provides to you. The first one is a prospect, which inevitably is the easiest way to do it and the easiest way to track your clients. And you'll see there are also some other options here to identify if you have a client, COIs that you actually get inbound and outbound referrals to, as well as a vendor, organization, and any past clients who are non-clients of the firm. The next section that we want to focus on is the statuses. So statuses in Wealthbox really work as a function of if a client is a current client, if they have not become a client, or if a client has actually become deceased and they are no longer a client. In our example here, they would be an active prospect since they are currently still in our funnel. In this next step here, we are going to show you a better way to start tracking your prospects, creating a custom contact card field. So once we're done filling in all of the relevant information, first name, last name, phone number, email, etc., we are actually going to scroll all the way down to the bottom and make sure that we save that contact type. So now I'm going to show you how to actually add a custom contact card field type to better enhance your prospect tracking. So on the top right, we're going to go ahead and click the three buttons icon and go to settings. So after you're done clicking on settings, you're going to be brought to this page over here and with a couple of different options on the left hand side. Under workspace, we are going to click customizations, and under custom types, we're going to go ahead and click contact types. Under contact types, you will see these different areas and really a lot of different preloads that Wealthbox has provided to you. So our job here is going to be to really think through what types of contact card information are we looking to pull. So in our example here today, we're going to be thinking about what type of prospects do we have. So if you are a financial advisor and you have one advisory type of client, you know that they're all financial planning, or if you know that you only do AUM, or maybe you do annuity products, you can further customize and really just drill down into what type of prospect that client is going to be. So in our example, we identified 3 different types of prospects. So we're going to go ahead and add a couple of different options here. So we have our prospect AUM, prospect financial planning, and the last one here, maybe we have a dual function of both prospects that can be AUM and financial planning. Let's take this a step further and now talk about the different types of clients that you have within your organization. So if we see here, if you're categorizing all of your clients as just a client, you're really not going to be able to run that great of information or data based off of that in your CRM system. So let's run through another example of how you can really organize the types of clients that you have at your firm. So let's say there are 3 different client types. And again, if your firm is not at this level point yet, or if you haven't had these types of discussions, you can always reach out to us and we'll be more than happy to discuss those with you on a one-on-one basis. So let's talk about the 3 client types. So let's say you have a tier 1, a tier 2, and a tier 3. So if you're looking to really identify those types of clients, you can do that by simply naming them client tier 1, client tier 2, and lastly, client tier 3. So we're going to go ahead and now revisit Joe Schmo here on his contact card since we updated the contact types in your CRM system. So on the top right, we're going to go ahead and click that drop down from options and then edit. And then down below, we're going to scroll and choose that contact type. And now you'll see that we have our different types of prospect and client types. So if we had just met with Joe and let's say he is that AUM client, we can now identify him as an AUM prospect in our CRM system. A great tool for this is really when you're trying to run your firm's metrics and really just trying to track how many types of clients have we met with in the past quarter, in the past 6 months, or maybe in the past year. You can now utilize this custom field to run that data and that information. So once we're done identifying the correct contact type, we're going to want to go ahead and save. So once we're done saving that information, we're going to actually want to look back at the contact status type. So as we mentioned before, Wealthbox does give you those preloads of both active and inactive. We've seen a lot of advisory firms really need that extra level of customization. So what we're going to do now is actually create a new custom field for a contact type. And we can start by, again, going back on the top right, click on settings. Under customizations, on the far right hand side over here, you're going to see this section called custom fields. So under our custom fields, we're going to want to click the green button. And under this green button, new custom field, this is what we're going to try to build out with trying to identify different type of contact status. Since we don't want to both just use active and inactive, maybe we want to add a hot or maybe a cold, or really just another type of status. So in our example here, we're actually going to want to rename this field, and we're going to want to make sure that this is selected for contacts, since this should be showing up for all of the contacts that we create inside of our CRM system, Wealthbox. So this new custom field that we're creating in Wealthbox is going to be and is going to serve for a better customized way of really just tracking those prospects or clients along your journey. So here, we're going to want to make sure that the field for section is for contacts, since this field is going to be specifically set up for contacts in your CRM. The field type here is going to be actually going to be selected towards single select dropdown, since we only want to be able to select one type of dropdown. Next, we're going to create a field label, or really just a way to identify it. So if we check back over here onto Joe's page, we're going to want to select a naming field that's fairly similar to contact type and status. So in our case, let's go ahead and name this contact status. And here under field options, this is where we are going to add those different types of field options. So the first one, we have active, inactive. We do see a lot of firms utilize other fields as in hot, cold, or pending. So you can think about these custom fields as, hey, I have a prospect who is now hot. They are in our pipeline. Let's say we just had a discovery meeting with them and they are moving along to that third meeting where we are going to close business. That's an example of a hot prospect. So cold status is going to allow us to really just identify maybe a prospect that's in your pipeline that you had just met with during an introductory meeting. Maybe the meeting went well, but they're not ready to start meeting with you and start engaging. So you want to set them to cold just so that you know, hey, maybe I need to reach back out to them in a year. Maybe now is just really not the right time. And that's when you can utilize a task to pop up in, let's call it a year or maybe in 2 years, to reach back out to that client. The last one here is pending. So if we have a prospect that's maybe stalling a bit, they're just waiting for a month, maybe they're going on vacation before they retire, and they're really just waiting in the pipeline, this is a great way to start tracking your statuses of prospects. And again, if you have any other suggestions or you feel your form needs to track other types of prospects, you are more than welcome to add other different types of field options. Lastly, we're actually going to check and uncheck the boxes that apply to this custom field. So in our example, we know that this is most likely going to be for people and for companies, because companies do engage with you as a prospect. So we'll go ahead and unclick households and trusts. So once we're done saving that custom field in Wealthbox, we're going to go ahead and go back to Joe's contact card. So now you'll see here that we have a custom field just here built out for Joe. And now we can actually set him as maybe that hot prospect who we just met with and now is moving to a discovery meeting. The next thing that you're going to want to do is really build this process a part of your post-meeting processes. A perfect example of this is really building out a workflow for the pre-checks and the post-checks for your prospecting meetings, as well as your annual reviews. If you need some more guidance on how to do so, you can go ahead and click down below on our free guide as a book we created to help you and your advisory firm grow and scale. Thank you all for watching this YouTube video, and if you enjoyed this content, please feel free to subscribe. And also just check in on our channel regularly. We'll be posting a lot more content like this, as well as following our series along with our Wealthbox Help as well as Redtail Help series. We know there's going to be a lot of good information in there, so we just want to keep you updated with these quick snippets of information. So tag along with us as we start to build out this journey for you and your advisory firm. Take care.